Marcus Rashford has finally gotten his dream move.
Marcus Rashford to Barcelona. Here we go.
It's happening. He's going to join the club he's been flirting with all summer. Marcus Rashford will join Barcelona on a loan deal for the 2025-26 season. But this is more than just a loan move. For the player, it's more than just a fresh start. This is the ultimate chance for Marcus to prove himself. For Barcelona, the club knows they're taking a gamble on a guy with everything to play for. And for the team, Marcus Rashford adds a new dynamic Barcelona missed out on in the summer. And La Liga simply has to be scared of him.
Get through either, and here is Rashford. Marcus Rashford has rifled it in! That is a smashing goal for Manchester United. Boy, that was fierce. Bruno Fernandes, beautiful ball. Marcus Rashford's onto it, and Rashford scores!
Safe to say, last season was an emotional roller coaster for Rashford. He joined Aston Villa on loan after United's new manager Ruben Amorim made it clear he wasn't going to play him over a lack of effort in training. We'll get to how this could become a potential issue for Rashford at Barcelona soon, but the point is, at Aston Villa, Rashford showed glimpses of the player he used to be. That electrifying pace, the ability to beat a man, the ability to become a game changer and score goals. 20 goal contributions in 41 games for both Manchester United and Villa last season. And that's the man FC Barcelona is ready to take what could become a calculated gamble. So getting into it then, what does the Rashford move to Barcelona mean for the club? To start with, he's a solution. It's no news that Barcelona went all in for Nico Williams this summer. Unfortunately, the player refused to join the club and ended up extending his contract with Bilbao. But the point is, a huge reason why Barcelona were that interested in Nico Williams was because of the option he gave the club down the left. Barcelona managed to win everything in Spain despite having just 2 out-and-out wingers last season. It was great, but it was also very clear to Hansi Flick that in the long run, he couldn't continue like this. That's where Marcus Rashford comes in. He's a direct option down the left, a proper left winger. When he's got space and time on the ball, Rashford is very dangerous, cutting inside and finding the angle or even going on the outside if he has to. Being an actual winger in the position means Barcelona and Hansi Flick have the option of going very direct on either flank. Now we say this because looking at Barcelona last season, they lined up with a very clear tactical identity. Particularly down that left wing, Rafinha played there as an inverted forward. In fact, he hardly played the position. Truth is, Rafinha spent more time down the middle and did most of his damage coming into central positions, allowing him get closer to goal. When he left that space, it became Alejandro Balde's duty to provide with width by bumping forward with crazy runs into the opposition's half. Yes, it worked, but with Rashford, Barcelona has an underlying option. Hansi Flick might just tap into to create chaos. We saw Flick play Rafinha in that number 10 position early on in the 24-25 season, and it worked. We also know Hansi Flick likes his wide players to hug the width and isolate themselves against fullbacks. I mean, think of the possible situation where Flick lines up with Lamine Yamal on the right, Rafinha down the middle, and Marcus Rashford on the left. 2 very direct wingers, a number 10 who can score goals and a centre-forward in Lewandowski who bagged 40 goals last season. Pray for Osasuna. But it's more than just Rashford on the left wing. Because of his versatility, Rashford can play anywhere across the front line. Rafinha needs a rest. Rashford becomes an option on the left. Lamine Yamal has an overload of too many games. Rashford is the option down the left. Lewandowski down the middle. Rashford can play centre forward. Modern football has evolved to the point where the most successful teams see squad depth as a must, a necessity. Rashford ticks this option for Barcelona. Whether he's starting or coming off the bench, a player with his quality is always going to be capable of having an impact in big games for the club. You again look at the Nico Williams issue and think of how much of it is a contrast in both situations. Clip of Rashford talking about playing with Lamine Yamal. Rashford has openly flirted with the club for months. From following certain players in Barcelona's roster to speaking about Lamine Yamal and the idea of a possible link-up between the two. Rashford has made it clear he's wanted to join the club. He's even taken a big pay cut off his reported $325k wage to join the club. And this is another angle where the entire deal just makes sense for both parties. Not only is Barcelona getting a player that helps with the squad depth issue, but financially, the deal just adds up. For context, to have signed the other players, Barcelona was looking at in the position Luis Diaz from Liverpool and Nico Williams from Barcelona. Barca would have spent at least 60 million. Nico Williams had a release clause of $58 million. Liverpool wasn't going to accept less than 60 million for Diaz. With Rashford, it's a loan deal with a reduced salary from the players' camp. This isn't a case of Barcelona having to deregister or make sales just to afford it. He fits in with the budget and offers quality going forward. Now, there's been talk about Rashford not deserving a move to Barcelona.
And I hope Rashford doesn't get the move that he's hankering for. From my perspective, he goes on to say, if you go from Manchester United to Barcelona, that is a step up that he hasn't deserved.
Teddy Sheringham even describes it as a step up he doesn't deserve. Or guys like this.
The reports say that Flick and Deco believe that Rashford suits Barcelona's style of play.
Well, the reports are wrong. Look, he gives him a change of pace. I'll say that much. In a game of transition, Marcus Rashford can definitely exploit spaces in behind.
Saying Rashford wouldn't fit into Barcelona's tactical blueprint and style of play. How much of this is true, though? Well, almost none of it.
I just feel like every time we're talking about Man United, and I think Rashford is a little bit of the scapegoat at times.
Don't hone in on Rashford. Don't hone in on Rashford. Don't try and move the...
I'm not because...
Don't try and move it. Garnacho and Rashford have sold for the last few weeks.
Yes, but hold on. But Garnacho's not...
For starters, this feels like the truth. This isn't to say Ruben Amorim is wrong with his assessment of Rashford. I mean, he coaches the guy week in and week out and probably has seen Rashford dip in the quality he expects. But the general feeling is that it almost feels like every time there's something negative going on at Manchester United, Marcus Rashford and a select few get the blame. On the aspect of the tactics, again, not much of this is true. That Marcus Rashford loves to run into space doesn't mean he isn't technical. He's a highly technical player who again suits this Barcelona team. In the 2023-24 season, his 48 dribbles were the most completed out of any Manchester United player that season. That number, relatively low for a player like Rashford, was still higher than what players like Bukayo Saka and Phil Foden managed in that campaign, level with Cole Palmer. Rashford doesn't have that elite-level technical IQ for Barcelona. Cap! It's very clear that this is a different Barcelona team than what it used to be under previous managers. Barcelona is very direct. We've talked about the wingers and how Flick loves them staying wide. He loves players who can stretch defenses in attack to allow the team to control through the middle. Yes, Rafinha was incredible last season with 59 goal contributions, but you almost get the idea that with his goals, Barcelona still missed that direct, natural left winger in the team. That's what Marcus Rashford brings. The ability to cut inside while the fullback makes the overlap and either aims for the goal or creates a chance. It seems like a lot of people have forgotten just how talented Marcus Rashford is. A big reason why La Liga has to be worried sick. Run it back to the 2022-23 campaign, and Rashford was in sick form. He scored 30 goals across all competitions for Manchester United, 12 assists, 42 goal contributions in 56 games. Rashford didn't just play, he found insane form. But the key? He was confident. Marcus Rashford is the type of player who needs a coach who believes in him to get the best out of him. Again, with the entire Ruben Amorim situation, people seem to believe that he's washed and past it, especially after Amorim called out his training effort. But that's just one manager out of the many he's had in the last. Louis van Gaal's view on Marcus Rashford?
It is not a matter of age, it is a matter of quality, and he shows it.
Saw him as a star from the first day. Jose Mourinho's view on Marcus Rashford.
For me, he is potentially a very good player. He's a very good player in some models of play. He's a very good player in some positions. As a target man, as a number 9, I don't think he has these 30 goals that a top striker.
You might listen to this and think he was criticizing him, but no. Mourinho was talking about how under Solskjaer's United, Rashford was better playing left wing, and that was the position he saw him best improving at. The point is, Mourinho also believed Rashford was a talent, a top quality player.
Oh, he's been exceptional, and to get to that stage at the age he's now is fantastic. You know, he's a leader in the group. He's 16, 17, 18, 19 goals now. I don't know how many, but he keeps producing, scoring goals, and the way he was so calm in front of the goal with his finish, the penalty.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's view of Marcus Rashford? He called him a leader. Erik Ten Hag's view of Marcus Rashford?
Well, but I'm happy with Marcus, his performance and his development. From the start of the season, he's growing and he keeps doing that. So, what we have to aim for with him.
He praised his performances, talked about Rashford growing as a player. See, guys, what we've just done is show the opinions of the 4 previous managers in charge of United while Rashford was still at the club. This is proof that what Ruben Amorim thinks of Rashford is one man's opinion against 4 others. Marcus Rashford has always been quality. He's just needed the right environment to prove it. And now, La Liga has to be scared. Why? Because Marcus Rashford is a man on a mission. With all the stick he's gotten in the last couple of months, at 27, entering what is supposed to be the peak of his career, Rashford knows this is the ultimate chance to prove himself. Manchester United is a big club irrespective of the league positions and the results in Europe. There aren't many clubs that can arguably be bigger, but if there is, Barcelona is one of them. To get that move at what could be his prime age football-wise, it's like the stars aligned for him. He's coming into a team where he's got a clean slate. I mean, we've seen what Hansi Flick can do with almost forgotten stars. At Bayern Munich, he had Serge Gnabry cooking. At Barcelona, he transformed a Rafinha who was always getting subbed around the 70th minute mark, and on the verge of getting sold to become a strong candidate for the Ballon d'Or. Rashford knows this. In fact, in both cases, you can make the argument that Rashford is more talented and has a bigger profile than the players Flick has managed to revive. It's now or never really for Rashford, because a lot depends on how he performs at Barca, not just his club future, but his international one as well, if he's going to make the cut for the English national team squad ahead of the 2026 World Cup. Rashford knows he has to play. He knows he has to take every chance, but he won't be doing it alone. At Barca, it's clear some players want him on the team. I mean, it's got to be comforting if you're Rashford listening to this.
jugador inglés que a mí me gustaría que fuera español sería Marcus Rashford.
Alejandro Balde talking about him and how he's one player they'd love to have on the team. That's a move that becomes reality in a couple of days. It's mind-blowing imagining that Barca attack with Rashford. Just think about the numbers the front 3 had last season. Imagine Rashford getting in on that sort of action. Balls across the front line from Yamal into the box, getting on the end of Pedri's passes, or Dani Olmo slipping him through. We saw Barca tear it up against, with all due respect, lower teams in the league. Rashford coming in is him getting a piece of the action. Potentially very scary stuff. What do you guys think about Rashford though? Is he good enough for this Barcelona team? Or did he do nothing to merit the move? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to Matchday Moments.